One whispered romance may have cost a rap icon his career, and the silence around it is finally cracking. For 2 decades, the music world has replayed the same baffling mystery. Why did the brilliant, politically razor-sharp Mos Def, now known as Yasin Bey, step away just as hip-hop crowned its superstars? Rumors suggest the answer hides inside the glittering orbit of the one couple so powerful that entire tours bend to their will. Beyonce Knowles Carter and Sean JayZ Carter. Tonight, we follow a trail of vanished microphones, canceled duets, and backstage warnings to uncover how a single on-screen spark in 2001 may have triggered a chess match that rewrote several careers. But to see how the dominoes fell, we have to rewind to a made-for-TV musical that felt harmless until it wasn't. In May 2001, MTV aired Carmen, a hip-opera, a flashy update of Bizet's classic that doubled as Beyoncé's first acting role. Destiny's Child were already chart dominators, yet Beyonce wanted proof she could stand alone. Sharing the screen with her was Mos Def, credited then under his birth name Dante Smith, playing a cynical lieutenant drawn into Carmen's orbit. The chemistry leapt off the screen and critics noticed. Suddenly, hip-hop crossovers felt inevitable, and Beyonce was no longer just the most visible member of a girl group, she was a solo star in waiting. On set, the two rehearsed late, trading melodic ad-libs that never reached the final cut. Crew members later joked the script's tension felt tame beside the real spark they witnessed between takes. Once shooting wrapped, they re-emerged on the promo circuit, radio stops, small club performances, a handful of European dates, and the gossip sites of the early 2000s ran wild. Beyoncé's team dismissed every headline as clickbait, yet something about the Carmen tour lingered. Years later, veteran DJ Cypher Sounds would claim he spent that summer babysitting a secret, hinting that Bey and Mos were definitely messing around during overlapping London gigs. Whether a fling or a flirtation, the whispers were loud enough to reach another rising mogul, one who was already positioning himself as both protector and partner. But sparks on a set are one thing. Sparks that threaten a future empire are another, and one man hated loose ends. Cypher's story places Beyonce and Mos Def together in hotel corridors between Destiny's Child soundchecks. He even recalls Pharrell Williams sharing inside jokes with Beyonce that week, stoking a second rumor of backstage flirtation. No photos exist, and none of the artists have ever confirmed anything. Still, hip-hop message boards treated it as open secret lore. Carmen chemistry turned real. Rumors suggest Beyonce, then barely 20, enjoyed Mos's quick wit and left-field cultural references. He, in turn, told friends he'd never met a pop star so tuned into rhyme patterns. Reports claim he played her early Black Star demos while she teased vocal runs over them, creating a lost collab fans still hunt for online. Nothing defined the relationship, if it happened at all, until JayZ walked into the picture with the swagger of a man accustomed to sealing deals. Insiders recall him visiting the Carmen set late in production under the guise of support, though his Rockefeller entourage raised eyebrows. Within months, Beyonce was publicly linked to Jay, and the chatter about Mos cooled, at least on the surface. But surface peace doesn't erase backstage tension. It just hides it under brighter lights. By 2002, JayZ's business reach, Rockefeller Records, Rockaware, a stake in the Nets, made him more than a rapper. He was becoming an institution. When he and Beyonce appeared together at the MTV Spring Break concert that year, press framed it as hip-hop royalty. Yet people close to the couple say Jay noticed the lingering jokes about Beyonce's Carmen co-star and didn't laugh. Radio host Angie Martinez once described an awkward night at Jay's 40/40 Club where he introduced Beyonce to Cypher Sounds with a stilted, "Yo, this my girl, Beyonce." Cypher later interpreted the hesitation as a silent signal. "I know you know things, don't share." From that point, Beyonce's appearances grew more curated. Only selected photographers, vetted interviewers, and carefully chosen duet partners got close. Industry lore claims Jay's camp quietly monitored potential threats. If a male artist's chemistry with Beyonce lit up rehearsals, that artist risked losing stage time. Some call it protective love, others call it power flexing. The truth sits somewhere in the gray, but one chart-topping dancehall star soon felt the consequences firsthand. Because the quickest way to sense a gatekeeper is when the gates suddenly slam shut. Baby Boy dropped in August 2003 and dominated radio for 3 straight months, yet Sean Paul only performed it with Beyonce 3 times. In a 2022 Hip Hop DX interview, he finally explained why. strange technical glitches kept ruining his moments. At an LA show, his mic went dead the second his verse began. Weeks later, at an MTV event in Scotland, the backing track looped Beyonce's hook over and over while Sean waited below stage confused as pyrotechnics roared. After the show, Beyonce allegedly confronted him, asking if he fueled the dating gossip. Sean denied it, pointing out he'd met Jay-Z first and respected their friendship. Still, the rumors rattled Beyonce's brand, and according to Dancehall Mag reporting, someone higher up cut Sean from their planned VMA performance without explanation. The pattern felt familiar: visible chemistry, viral rumors, sudden distance. Fans online started compiling a list of collaborators who vanished after getting too close, and Mos Def's name topped every thread. If a superstar with 2 Grammys could be muted, what chance did a politically outspoken Brooklyn rapper stand? Between 2004's The New Danger and 2009's The Ecstatic, Mos still released acclaimed albums, but Hollywood doors he once cracked fell shut. Casting directors who once called weekly went silent. Festival slots evaporated. In January 2016, he posted a freestyle recorded on a phone inside a South African immigration office onto Kanye West's website, announcing retirement from the music industry as it is currently assembled today. He resurfaced here and there, a blunt Guantanamo protest video, a guest turn on Dave Chappelle's podcast, a surprise Paris Fashion Week performance, but mainstream platforms kept their distance. In February 2025, The Guardian finally cornered him for a long interview. They compared streaming economics to Scrooge McDuck hoarding copper pennies and hinted he'd been blackballed. When you push back on the wrong machine, the machine pushes harder. Fans stitch the clues: retirement, blacklisting complaints, and that early spark with Beyonce. None prove Jay-Z forced anything, yet forums still pulse with the theory that most chose exile over public warfare with the Carters. But exile ends when the exiled returns holding receipts, and right now, the throne is wobbling. Jay-Z's empire once felt untouchable. Then came the elevator incident, the 444 Mea Culpa album, Rock Nation lawsuits, and waves of social media skepticism over billionaire optics. Each headline chips at the aura that kept critics quiet. The new mood is simple: the bigger the pedestal, the louder the fall. Yassine Bey senses it. During a secret Paris listening party this spring, he spit a bar referencing lions with papier-mâché crowns before telling the room, "Truth comes back with interest." Attendees swear he smiled when someone asked if the line referenced an old acquaintance. Unverified, yes, but it sent stan culture into meltdown. Industry veterans whisper that other Silence collaborators, writers, engineers, session musicians, are weighing podcasts and memoir deals. The NDA era is thinning, and each leak makes the next one easier. If Mos finally speaks, he won't be alone, and the story may expand from one alleged love triangle to a systemic portrait of music industry muscle. Imagine Mos detailing every blocked booking, every call that mysteriously never came, the late-night warnings from mutual friends. Hov's people think you know too much. Picture him naming executives who pressured magazines to drop spreads, or producers told to pick a side. The narrative would rewrite early 2000s pop history, recasting certain triumphs as chess moves and certain disappearances as collateral damage. It would also spark overdue debate about power imbalance, how many careers stall not because of talent, but because of personal politics at the very top. How often do rumors, true or not, become leverage? And what does it cost the culture when an artist like Mos Def, whose 1999 classic Black on Both Sides still ranks among hip-hop's most daring albums, feels safer in self-imposed exile than inside the system? 24 years ago, a low-budget TV musical paired a Houston singer with a Brooklyn poet, and for a heartbeat, the screen crackled. Today, those sparks may yet explode into full flame. Whether Mos Def speaks or stays silent, the pattern is undeniable. Microphones cut, mics muted, voices pushed aside. Yet every mute button has a lifespan, and cracks are already showing in the palace walls. So listen closely. The next podcast episode, the next leaked freestyle, the next half sentence on stage could change every headline you thought you knew about hip-hop's royal couple and restore a legend who chose principle over Polish. Comment below with the name you think will speak next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the moment the truth drops. And remember, in music, as in life, the story isn't over until the silenced sing.